Jay, I thought you were sweeping yesterday.
Yeah, I missed the spot. Right here.
Hannah and Jay with you for the next hour. Obviously, yes, the Lakers were swept out of the playoffs last night, which brings us to not James and the Giant Peach, but James and the giant question. What does the future hold for LeBron James and the Lakers? Their president of basketball operations, Rob Pelinka, just spoke to the media. This is new on SportsCenter.
I think in terms of LeBron, we probably haven't seen a player that has honored the game to the extent that he's honored the game. He's given so much to his teammates, to this organization. And the thing we want to do more than anything else is honor him back. And I think the first order of business there is allowing him to spend the time he needs to decide what his next step are. Does he want to play another year in the NBA? And that'll be, as he said to you guys last night, family time, I think time with his inner circle. And we just want to honor that for him. Of course, any team, including ours, would love to have LeBron James on their roster. That's a blessing in itself, just with what he does.
NBA insider Shams Charania is with us now. Shams, LeBron turns 42 in December. He's an unrestricted free agent for the first time since 2018. What can you tell us about his future?
Jay, LeBron James, I'm told, is going to take a period of time now to recalibrate and refocus and figure out exactly how he wants to move forward in his career. And it's going to consist of time away, decompressing, and spending time with his family. One source told me today that this is going to be a family decision, but even more than that, as far as his commitment to the game and the process, does he still want to wake up 4 in the morning for workouts? Does he still want to get to the arena 4 or 5 hours before a game? The way he's played, indications have been all season that LeBron James would have one more year left, but he's 41, just finished his 23rd season. He's going to spend some time and figure out, does he still have that commitment to the game to continue?
Okay, I want to ask you about Luka Doncic because he missed the final 15 games of the regular season and the playoffs with that hamstring injury. What does the offseason ahead look like for him?
Jay, it's going to be first and foremost getting healthy. He said he wasn't close and he was going to start contact workouts next week. And so that will now allow him this period of time to get healthy, get right. He's going to spend a lot of time in Slovenia with his family as well. Off the court, he has spent a lot of time involved in Lakers matters. Last offseason, he spent a lot of effort recruiting players like Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton. So he's going to be involved in their offseason as much as he wants to be. And the Lakers have made it clear that they want to continue to build and retool this team around Luka Doncic.
All right, let's go big picture on Lakers aside from Luka and LeBron. What questions do they need to answer this offseason?
Well, the biggest question, aside from LeBron James's future, because of his salary slot, that's a massive position, is Austin Reaves and his future. He's due for a massive raise, a big contract extension this offseason as a free agent. He's expected to opt out and be in line for potentially a near max deal. He played at an all-star level, but then even beyond that, the Lakers will have 3 first-round picks to be able to trade. They're going to have a ton of cap space this offseason as well, so they will position themselves to be in the mix and make offers at the very least for players like Giannis Antetokounmpo and other stars that could become available.
Shams Charania, my brother, always a pleasure. Thank you.
That floor looks real nice, Jay.
Thank you, Hannah.
By the way.
Thank you.
Is it the last time we could see this? Jay, can you imagine LeBron making the walk there through the tunnel at Crypto.com Arena? Wow, that's something to think about for sure. And a guy who knows LeBron, NBA analyst Iman Shumpert, is with us. You played with him for 4 seasons. Shump, on a personal level, what would you like to see him do?
Oh, man, I think that, 2 options for me. The storybook of him going back to Cleveland, of course, that would just, make the most sense. It's be very dear to our hearts. But as a basketball fan, if I got to see LeBron James play with Steph Curry, oh boy, I would love to sit there and watch that. I can't imagine a version of this where LeBron walks away from the game. I look at it and the way he played this year, the way he's taking care of his body, it seems like he's still hungry and he still knows how to make the adjustments. He still knows how to play the game the way it needs to be played. If he couldn't respect the game, he would walk away. So I definitely think there will be a future in it. It's just if it's available and it's there. After seeing them play in the Olympics together, I can't turn my head away from the possibility that he could play with Steph Curry.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that would just set the world on fire. I think the basketball world at least, but not the Lakers. You don't see that as a viable option?
I see it as a nice option. I mean, who wouldn't want to leave Los Angeles? Who wouldn't want to have the sun on them and have their family planted out here? I know he's got his compound and you're comfortable here. But LeBron James is a person that, one, takes challenges, and two, just when you think you know exactly what he's thinking, you know, things could change. I just think that he loves a challenge, he loves a story, but most of all, he loves to be a winner. And, you know, I just want to see that all come together. Yeah,
in terms of the Warriors, we know that Steve Kerr is now coming back to coach that team, and they seem determined to make another title run if possible. But you won a championship with LeBron back in Cleveland in 2016.
Yes,
so if he were to finish his career there, fill in the blank, a LeBron return to Cleveland would be?
Oh, man, such a sweet, sweet ending to the story. Just a beautiful ending to the story, man. I think that the way this could be written, you know, to have won in Cleveland and then come home, to, you know, go around the league and, you know, pay your dues, pay your respects to everybody again, all in that home uniform. I mean, it can't be any better feeling. It probably could be better weather, but not a better feeling.
That is for sure. That is definitely not debatable. Luckily, they play basketball indoors, so weather not a factor. All right, let's go to the team that swept them this season. Obviously, the Oklahoma City Thunder have won 8 in a row to start these playoffs, joining the 2017 Warriors and Cavaliers as the only teams to do so in the last decade. And obviously, as you know, those two teams met in the finals, and the Warriors won in 5. All right, so which team do you think that they await? The Spurs or the Timberwolves would challenge the Thunder the most?
You know, I think that all season I've wanted to see the Spurs and Thunder go at each other in this Western Finals. I've wanted that in my heart. I think all basketball fans have had their eyes glued to that. But if you're not impressed and curious about what's happening over there in Minnesota, I just don't think that you're watching the playoffs that good. The way I'm seeing Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, how they respond to a challenge, how they take it to your chest, how they do not care about what's being said in the media, what their quotes are. Everything is in attack mode. Everything seems like it's aggressive with them. And as the playoffs have gone on, I've become more and more a fan of Rudy Gobert. So I honestly am tickled to death as a basketball fan, because now, no matter the winner of this Minnesota and San Antonio series, which I don't have San Antonio as a clear-cut win for them anymore. I think they might be in more of a dogfight than I once thought. But I am going to be excited at whoever comes out in that position.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 series is what it's come down to. And, like, really interestingly, I think if you had been watching the Wolves, not just this season, but going back to what they've done recently in the playoffs, you had to figure this team is a very, very tough out. All right.
Without a doubt.
Let's go to the East. The Cavs tied up their series with the Pistons last night. Donovan Mitchell had 43 points and just a masterclass, 39 in the second half. It was so much fun to watch, but this team can't win on the road. They're winless in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And to advance, Shump, they are going to have to win a game in Detroit. Have they figured out the Pistons enough to win there?
I think defensively they're doing a great job with trying to contain Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is responsible for manufacturing so many points and just offense period over there, making decisions on who should get a score, who should not. And then at the end of the game, it's always his job to trade buckets with a superstar. I think that they've done a great job of pressuring him early on in games and then extending their defense past half court to make sure that by the third quarter, by the fourth quarter, which a lot of times the turnover flurries that are coming from Cade are coming in the third and fourth quarter, it's just because he's exhausted. I think he does a better job of controlling that when on his home court. So the Cavs are in for it. If they're going to keep this up, they're going to have to really, really, really get it going on the road.
Yeah, and James Harden, he was +9 in that game last night, 11 assists, just 2 turnovers for him.
That's all we need. That's all we need, James. That's all we need. Spider's going to do his thing, but if James Harden controls the assist to turnover ratio, usually the Cavs win.
Y'all notice the we there. I'm just saying. All right, Shump, back with you.
The feeling around LeBron James, around the league, is that he's going to go at least one more season. What does LeBron want?
I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously.
He would have some appetizing options.
I go to Golden State and I join Steph Curry.
It makes the most sense for him to be a Laker.
You don't want to go on this big farewell tour in a Laker uniform. Damn it, I want to see you back at the crib.
Well, if this is it for LeBron in L.A., it was a hell of a ride. When he joined the Lakers, he ranked 7th on the all-time scoring list. But after more than 12,000 points in purple and gold, he is the all-time scoring leader, passing Kareem in February 2023, more than 4,000 points clear of everyone else. Remember, in the bubble 2020, LeBron bringing the Lakers their 17th NBA title. At the time, that tied the Celtics for the most in league history. It snapped a 9-year title drought for L.A., their longest this century. Look, Father Time is and will remain undefeated, but LeBron's come as close to anyone to handing Father Time a first L. Before Bron, there were only 5 30-point games by 40-year-olds. LeBron has more than tripled that with 16 30-point games by himself. J.J. Redick, just speaking to the media about the core three, LeBron, Luka, and Reaves at his new One Sports Center.
For all three of those guys, and it's crazy to say that about LeBron too, but all three of those guys showed a lot of growth this year. And I think, you know, a lot has been made about Luka's fitness level, but he's also grown as a leader. That was one of the challenges coming into the season that we presented him with. He grew in that regard. Austin grew in that regard. LeBron being challenged to and then volunteering to accept a different role in year 23. Like, that is incredible growth. So, you know, all three of those guys, I think we kind of hit the apex of that in that 16-2 stretch, and it showed what this group can do.
NBA reporter Dave McMenamin joining us now live. Dave, you were in the room with Rob Pelinka and J.J. Redick as they answered questions. What was your biggest takeaway about LeBron's future based on what you just heard?
Yeah, Jay, well, first of all, I think you're giving Father Time a pretty good battle yourself. But getting back to what Rob and J.J. were saying, you know, Rob said that LeBron James has honored the game of basketball maybe better than any guy in the history of the NBA, and the Lakers want to honor him back. That starts with giving him the time, the grace, whatever he needs in order to get away from this season, decompress, and then put his mind, his body, his spirit, as LeBron terms it, into the mode of, can I do this again? Do I want to do this again? And then Rob said very pointedly, we would love to have him back if he wants to come back. Any team would love to have him on their team, including us. It would be a blessing.
LeBron and I beating Father Time to a pulp, Dave. Just want you to know that.
Yes.
Outside of getting clarity on LeBron, what are the franchise's priorities this summer?
Well, there's several. First of all, J.J. Redick said we need to be a better defensive team. He said we had it in spurts and we got better as the season went on. But obviously you saw what happened in that Thunder series. They were outclassed by arguably the best defensive team in the league, certainly a team that's been there in the top 5 the last several seasons. Beyond that, Rob Pelinka said the team is going to continue to put the resources that they have from the new ownership group led by Mark Walter, who also owns the Los Angeles Dodgers, into this facility. They're going to be investing in biomechanics and recovery equipment. They're going to be continuing to build out the front office. Rob Pelinka said they've added many people in terms of analytics and data and medical and recovery, all sorts of those positions. He said they're also looking to hire 2 assistant general managers, and they're in the process of doing that right now. One in charge of pro personnel and scouting, another one in charge of analytics, data, salary cap, etc. And then beyond that, they got to figure out the rest of this team, not just LeBron James, but Austin Reaves. He's the second longest tenured Laker behind LeBron, and Rob said, we want him back, and we've made it clear to his representatives that we've expressed that sentiment already.
Okay, we'll follow that. Dave McMenamin, my guy. Thank you, bro.
San Antonio trying to go up 3-1 in the series. Unnecessary and excessive in contact by Wembanyama. Wembanyama is out of this game.
This defense is suffocating.
This is a terrible quarter for the Timberwolves. All the eyes are on 5.
It has to be that guy. the Ant-Man.
Game 4 to the Timberwolves.
We just had to play hard, and I had to just take it upon myself to try to get us a win.
Wow, such an enormous game tonight, a Texas-sized game as we continue conversation with reporter Michael C. Wright and NBA analyst Iman Shumpert. Michael, I want to start with you. Victor Wembanyama's teammates, what are they saying about him heading into Game 5 after that ejection in Game 4?
Well, before I get to that, let me tell you what the locker room scene looked like after Game 4. Keldon Johnson, who is known to have the Bluetooth speaker bumping the music, that's what was going on in the locker room. Everybody was in good spirits. But fast forward into the preparation for Game 5. Talked to Spurs forward Devin Vassell, and he said that Victor was upset that he couldn't be with his teammates in Game 4. And he said, an upset Victor is what we need. And so the question then became, okay, well, what can we expect from an upset Victor Wembanyama? He said, we've all seen it before. So he's locked in and ready to go. And, yes, he's in good spirits, but he feels like he's got something to prove tonight in Game 5 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is a swing game. It's absolutely pivotal. It's a best 2 out of 3 series, Shump. What do you think is going to be the key tonight?
I think the key is for the Spurs backcourt to, one, especially in the second half, to keep the ball away from Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels is one of the biggest pests in this league, but at his size, he just disrupts a lot of things that are supposed to be meant to be. So trying to keep him out of actions and keep him out of having to play the one-on-one game might be in their best interest. Now, aside of that, you have to find a way to limit Anthony Edwards. Having Anthony Edwards out there is just a dangerous guy to be out there. But at the end of games especially, Anthony Edwards understands and takes on the challenge of shouldering the load of scoring, shouldering the load of making decisions, a la how we've seen Cade Cunningham do it. And to see those two go back and forth the way they do offensively and defensively, I think that if the Spurs backcourt can make sure that they step up to that challenge, it could be their key.
Yeah, I mean, Ant-Man was absolutely spectacular. Bringing in another Anthony Slater covering the Wolves in the series. Ant-Man, 16 points in the fourth quarter. He said he knew Wemby was out. He knew he had to put this game on his shoulders. At the same time, he's dealing with some bad knees. So how's he feeling heading into Game 5?
Good. You know, I was at shoot-around this morning. I'd say it was a relaxed atmosphere. He was putting ice bags on both knees afterwards, but that's normal procedure for him. He's played over 40 minutes in the last 2 games, and, they've joked that his recovery is kind of like Wolverine. Well, you look at the timeline here. He has the really bad knee injury in Game 4 of the last series. He could barely, you talk to people in the organization, he could barely move for a few days. 9 days later, he plays the Game 1, and now he's the highest minute guy, for his team in this series. And obviously there was a lot of talk about how Victor Wembanyama's elbow changed the series the other night, but Anthony Edwards also changed the series. They were down 8 early in the fourth quarter. He scored 14 points in the first 7 minutes, and then, he scores 35 points for the 10th time in his playoff career. If he can get 2 more wins in the next 3 games, I think this turns into really a signature, potentially legendary series for him, considering what he's going through body-wise.
Yeah, I mean, this is a heck of a series. Cannot wait to see this pivotal game tonight. All 3 of you guys, so thank you. Michael was with us, Iman, Anthony, we appreciate it. Thanks.
Cool.
Hannah, Memphis Grizzlies forward Brandon Clark has died at the age of 29. No cause of death has been given. The former Gonzaga standout was a first-round pick of the Grizzlies in the 2019 draft. He averaged 10 points and 5+ rebounds over his 7-year career. A torn Achilles and injuries to his knee and calf limited Clark over the past few seasons. In a statement, the NBA saying, quote, "We are devastated to learn of the passing of Brandon Clark. As one of the longest tenured members of the Grizzlies, Brandon was a beloved teammate and leader who played the game with enormous passion and grit. Our thoughts and sympathies are with Brandon's family, friends, and the Grizzlies organization." Again, Brandon Clark was just 29 years old.